Hello and welcome to another edition of Face Facts. I'm John Wessling. When you talk about the economy of Hampton Roads, you often hear three large economic drivers: the military, tourism, and the port. Today we're going to take a look at the Port of Virginia. Over my shoulder you can see Portsmouth Marine Terminal, one of the large container terminals here in Hampton Roads. There happen to be 3 cruise ships docked there right now that are spending their time in Portsmouth while they're in quarantine. The Port of Hampton Roads is one of the most attractive on the East Coast in terms of accessibility to the ocean and having deep channels to accommodate the largest modern ships. If you think about the port, its job is to receive cargo from and send cargo to nations overseas. So the shutdown in the U.S. is only part of the story. Port traffic is also affected by how economies around the world have dealt with the pandemic. It's also impacted by factors like trade wars. The port measures traffic in TEUs. A TEU is the equivalent of one 20-foot container. In the first quarter of this year, traffic was up each month. Then came the COVID effect. By May, TEUs were down 23% year to year. The port's forecast is for the trend to continue through this year. The impact is significant. Port activity directly means jobs for dock workers, truckers, customs officers, and more. In our commercial real estate world, cargo from ships fills the high bay warehouses in Hampton Roads industrial parks. A study from William & Mary found that 7.5% of Virginia's gross state product is dependent upon the port, along with 9.5% of Virginia's resident employment. Also dependent on our ports, the COVID response. The Port Authority has been prioritizing cargo for COVID-19 relief efforts. While the port traffic has been down, it is not out. The port is an essential business. While business being off more than 20% is significant, it is nowhere near the total shutdown that some businesses, like restaurants and many retailers, have faced. As for the other economic drivers that we mentioned, the military has been a steady force in Hampton Roads for decades. And since reopening, tourists are starting to come back to our beaches and to our other local attractions. Life is probably not going to feel normal, nor our economy get back to anything resembling normal until there's a vaccine. But in the meantime, even if the volume is somewhat diminished, the port remains a critical piece of the Hampton Roads economy. That's it for this week's Face Facts. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again next week. And remember, if there's a topic you'd like us to touch on, drop us a line.